welcome to Sausage Cajun. It's Dakota Stein, and today we're going to be cooking some Cajun chicken sausage and fettuccine with some bacon in there too. So what we got to start off with here, we got a bell pepper, we got some onions, we got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. A lot of people like to use chicken breasts, but I like these skinless chicken thighs because they got some more moisture to it. They don't get as dry, but you can use what you like. We got about a half pound of bacon we're going to put in there, some smoked sausage, some hot smoked sausage to give it a little tang. And we got our cherry tomatoes, our minced garlic, we got our egg noodles. I like the egg noodles. I don't like having to wrap noodles around my fork and all, you know. And then I got some heavy whipping cream, and you can use half and half if you want, but I like the heavy because it's a little creamier, a little richer. And our Parmesan cheese and our seasonings and stuff that we're going to use, and we're going to throw some baby spinach in there too. We're fixing to start cutting our meat and everything, but before we do that, I want to give a big thanks to 360 Cookware for giving us these fantastic stainless steel pots. Not only are they made in America, but they're made of real high quality thick steel, and they conduct heat super well, and they're stainless steel that last you forever. All right, so let's get cutting up right here. I like to cut up all my meat before I start cooking instead of while I'm doing it, so I'm not running all over the place like a chicken with his head cut off. First things first, we go take about a pound of these chicken thighs out. We go cube them up real good. Make sure to leave all that fat on there because that's going to rend it down and make it taste real good. Alrighty, so like I said, we're just going to cube them up into nice little bite-sized pieces right here. Just however big you like, as long as it'll fit on a fork. Go get our bacon. I like to use about a half a pound. If you use too much, you're going to get too much grease in there. It'll be too oily. I'm going to take about half this pack right here. Put that on the side. Save that for breakfast tomorrow. There we go. Cut them about like that. They go shrink up pretty good once they get hot. Now we got some hot sausage right here. We go cut that up, give it a little bit of heat. Cut it into thin slices, medallions. You can cube them up, dice them up, whatever you like. Me personally, I like them like this, kind of like in a jambalaya. And all this meat is going to marinate together all in that pot, and it's going to make a juice, and all them flavors going to stay right in there. It'll come out real nice. Alright, so we cooking for about 4 or 5 people right here. You know, us Cajuns like to cook for the whole Salvation Army, but we're going to try to keep it simple here. We got our sausage cubed up. All right, now we got our meat all chopped up. Put that off to the side for now. All right, now before we cut up these vegetables, we'll go ahead and rinse this cutting board off. It's got all that raw meat and stuff like that on. It's always good practice. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, now that we got a clean cutting board and all, we go throw this bacon in there. We got a hot pot. Listen to that sizzle. We got it on a high heat right now, medium high. We'll let that bacon crisp up real nice, let all that juice out. While we go do that, we go cut up our vegetables. Alrighty. Stir it up, let it settle in. Alright. I'm going to use about a half an onion. You can use a whole one if you like, if you really like onions. Save that for later. All right, now I don't know if some of y'all know this trick or not when you're cutting up an onion, but make sure you cut it from point to point on the half like that. You can chop that little chit off right there. And then when you cut, you don't go all the way to the back. You just make some little slices like that. All the way across. Now, I know they got some people that can do this probably a lot faster than I do, but I ain't no ninja with the knife, but I do all right. All right, now once you cut it across like that, you go give it one slice across the middle. Just like that. All right, now you got that. Now all you do is you just go down, cube it up. Perfectly diced onion right there. You ever watch your grandma slice up an onion and she do it in like 5 seconds? She's like, how you slice up an onion that fast? Well, this is how she do it right here. Put that little chit away. Kind of cube up the rest of what we got. Alrighty. Now before we slice up this bell pepper, we're going to give that bacon a little stir. Boy, that's looking good. Get all that nice and crisp. And all our vegetables and our onions go cook all in this bacon grease right here. So give it a real good flavor. Let it sweat down. It's gonna be delicious. Let's get this bell pepper nice and cut up. Go cut that stem off like that. Now, this is a little trick I saw somewhere. I ain't never tried it, but let's see. Let's give it a whirl. You cut it like that, just on the side, and then you go down the side like that, all the way down. Keep all the seeds right there in the middle. You ain't gotta worry about no seeds, no scooping, no spoon, none of that. Look at that. All right, and cut it into little ribbons like that. Like I said, I ain't no ninja with this knife like some people, but I do all right. We just go dice it up real nice. Nice and fine. It ain't gotta be perfect. It's gotta be nice and diced up, real small. All that's gonna cook down so much you probably won't be able to see it no more. Pile it up. Give it one more good slicing through. All right. Now we go put this all in this bowl right here. Now, if you want to know the real secret ingredient, See the stem right here? No, I'm just playing. All right, now we got our bacon nice and crisped up over here. We're gonna come over here with our onions and bell peppers. Give this a little stir, like that. Alrighty, we got our vegetables chopped up. We're gonna add that all in this pot. Got the bell peppers right there, the onions. And we're gonna do about 1 clove of garlic, maybe 2. Don't really measure, just kind of get it on the tip of that knife and dump a good little bit in there. Let that all marry together and get real nice and tasty in this 360 cookware pot we got. We're gonna lower that fire real low. Real low. So right here we got this bacon that's nice and crisped up. We got this fresh onion, chopped up bell pepper, that garlic. We'll let that cook down real nice, all in that bacon grease. Man, I wish you could smell it through the TV. It's smelling good over here. We're gonna let that marinate down, let it cook. Get that all nice and mixed in there. Alright, now we got that in there. Put that off to the side. Grab the cover. And let it ride for about 20-30 minutes or until the onions get translucent. Alright, so that's been sitting in that pot for about 20-25 minutes. The next thing we're going to do is going to add our chicken and our sausage. Let all that cook down for a while. So here we go. Woo-wee, look at that. Man, ain't that pretty. We're going to add our chicken in there. We go to smoked sausage. And we're going to put a little bit of seasoning in there. Whatever you like. I like this Atkins rub right here, but you can use Tony's, salt and pepper, whatever you want. You can be generous with it, you can be light. They already got a lot of flavor in there from all them vegetables and that bacon. So do whatever you feel is right. We'll get that stirred up. Now I like to do all my stuff in one pot like this because you get all them flavors. And that's how most Cajuns like to do it. That's how I grew up doing it. That's how my dad did, and his mama, and my great grandma, and all them. They used to have a restaurant, actually, my great grandma and all them down in downtown Homer. Just runs in the blood. Get that nice and spread out. Now what we're gonna do, we'll add just a little bit of water in there to let it steam up and let it cook real nice. Just a little bit to cover the bottom. And we're gonna let that cook down for about probably another 30 minutes until that meat is nice and rendered down and all that fat's melted. You're good to go. Alright, so it's been about 20-25 minutes. We'll go ahead and check on our meat, see how that's going. Meat's been cooked about 20-25 minutes. Go ahead and stir that around a little bit. Still got a little bit of juice in there, so we're going to leave the cover open for just a little while, let the rest of that water cook out. While we're doing that, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and get our noodles boiling. We got our water in our pot right here. We will add just a little bit of canola oil so that noodles don't stick together. And just a pinch of salt. Give it a little bit of flavor. Just a little bit. Alright, so we got our water heating up, and wait on that to boil. And while we do that, and wait for this water to cook out, we'll go ahead and dice up our little cherry tomatoes right here. So a lot of people ask me why I started cooking and all, and really it's just a tradition thing, you know. Grow up cooking around my dad, and he learned everything he knew from his mama, and I got it on my mom's side with my great grandma, I'm sorry, and her husband used to have a restaurant, like I was saying earlier, and it just really inspired me to take it up too and carry on the tradition and keep on cooking the good old Cajun way, you know. Alrighty, we got our tomatoes chopped up. Oh, that's ready to go. Get that back in this little bowl here. Alright, now let's go check on our meat. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Most of that water done cooked out. Now, some of y'all might ask why I'm not draining none of that grease out. Well, I'll tell you why. It's because if you drain that grease out, you're a couillon. That's where all your flavor comes from. Now, some of y'all might be healthy. You might need to drain the grease out. You go ahead and do that. But me, I like that flavor. All right, so we about ready now to start making our sauce. For that, we're going to use about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Go ahead and pour that right in there. And we're going to use about 1.5 cups or so, roundabout, of Parmesan cheese. You really want your ratio of cream to Parmesan to really be about 1 cup of cream and 2/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. Just gonna add that in there like that. About 5 ounces right there. Maybe another 3.5. See what that do. Stir it all up around right there. Now once you got that nice and mixed up, you can go ahead and add your tomatoes that we just chopped up. Throw that right in there like that. And then you can put your spinach in there too. Get that cooking down. And don't be shy with the spinach, because I know it may seem like you're putting a lot in there, but spinach cooked down and shrinks so much you think you barely put anything by the end of it. It's about like that. Go ahead and stir that up. Mix it up real good. Man, look how pretty that looks. All right, now before we let that ride and bring to a boil, we'll go add about another little 1/2 cup of water in there. We go turn the heat on high and bring that to a boil. And once that boils, we go turn it back down and let it simmer. Alright, so now we got our water for our noodles boiling right here. we go ahead and add some noodles. Pretty big bag, so I'm gonna do about half. Get that going. Now we go check on our sauce. Ooh, yeah, that's looking good. Give it a little mix. All right, now that's boiling, we'll turn it down to medium low and let it simmer, let it kind of thicken up, waiting on our noodles to boil. I gotta say, man, I'm really impressed with these 360 cookware pots we got here. They distribute the heat so well, and they stainless steel, they high quality, they thick, and they good. And man, I'm just really impressed with how they cooking. Doing a good job. Alrighty, now while we wait on that to simmer, we're gonna put this cover on and let it thicken up and wait on them noodles to get nice and tender. This is all done and cooked up. Let's serve it up. Get everything in there, the chicken, the sausage, some bits of bacon, a little tomatoes. Like that. Man, I tell you what, that came out good, and big ol' help from 360 Cookware making some fantastic American-made pots. Get the job done right.